Hello everybody, this is Spectre 19, and today I'll be giving my movie review of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. So this is going to be a spoiler review, so if you don't want to be spoiled, click away. So basically, this film starts off with a security guard trying to open the vent to get away from the animatronics, and then he eventually opens the vent and makes his way through the vent system to another area of the pizzeria and tries to get to the exit, but then he gets caught by Foxy. We hear his little dum 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 before he's caught, and then the film cuts away to a minigame montage of Spring Bonnie luring kids into the back room to murder them. Then the film cuts away to our favorite man, Mike Schmidt, played by Josh Hutcherson, and he did a pretty good performance of Mike. He has this little sister named Abby, played by who played Abby? Piper Rubio. Mike eventually then goes to his security guard shift at a mall. He mistakenly sees a parent dragging the kid away as a kidnapper kidnapping someone and beats him up, but it was a big misunderstanding, and yeah, he gets fired. And then the guy, what's his name? But I forgot his name. But basically, he shows him a new opportunity for him, but he doesn't take it because it's a night shift. So Mike then goes home and he starts having this dream where we see him and his family. And then his little brother, named Garrett, gets taken away by a mysterious man in a car. And then he wakes up. Then he takes the shift. Then he eventually gets to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where he's basically introduced. Basically the first night is a little slow. So he gets there. He works the shift and. He goes home, but during the shift he falls asleep and has the same dream again, but then he sees 5 other children there, and he doesn't know who they are, and when he tries to talk to them, they run away. So then the next shift happens, and the next morning happens, and he meets up with the babysitter, Max, and basically he tells her that she will pay her, and then we see Mike getting ready for his next shift, and then we cut away to Max, who meets up with her brother and Mike and Abby's aunt and uncle, and basically they'll try to sabotage Mike so they could get custody of Abby. So the brother then has this before I forget, then the waiter comes to the table, who reveals to be Matt Pat. We all love Matt Pat, so I basically cheered and clapped when we saw him in the movie. And then Max's brother has a plan to sabotage Mike's shift, so he could get fired. So then Mike gets to his second shift at the pizzeria, and then basically he takes another sleeping pill, and then has the same dream again. He chases one of the kids again, but then the kid slices him with his hook, and he ends up bleeding. And when he wakes up, he sees someone at the front door, a policewoman, and when he gets to it, we are introduced to Vanessa, who is played by Elizabeth Lale. So Vanessa lets herself in and notices that Michael is bleeding, and when Michael looks at his injury, he sees that it's the same cut that the kid in the dream gave him. So it's basically some Nightmare on Elm Street stuff. And then she basically tells him some of the basics and telling them that he should quit. But basically Michael refuses, and then they get off and go, and then Mike goes home. And then that's when Max, her brother, and a little crew arrives at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and basically breaks in and causes a mess and steals some things. But then they get caught by the animatronics. Basically, the first to die is this well, I don't know his name, but he basically gets caught by Chica and her cupcake, and then the other guy like sees him like getting mauled by the cupcake and tries to hide in the closet, where he gets caught by Bonnie. Max's brother sees the whole thing on the security cameras and tries to escape, but then ends up getting caught by Foxy, who dashes down the hall to him. So then Max realizes like her brother and crew are like, taking a long time, so she enters the pizzeria where she encountered Fred, like a ghost child who led her to Freddy. So basically she went up and like took a look in Freddy's mouth, and then Freddy bit her in half. So basically it's the bite of 23, or like whenever that film takes place. And then like before the next shift, like Michael keeps trying to call Max for like another babysitting job, but she's not answering the phone. So eventually Mike decides to let Abby come with him on the shift. So basically he instructs her to stay asleep while he works. Michael has the dream again, and then has a little chat with the kid, and like basically the kid says like he'll help him like find the man who took his brother, if and in exchange for like whatever he wants. But that's when Michael wakes up to like Abby screaming. He rushes to the dining room and sees like Abby surrounded by the animatronics. He tries to save her, but it turns out the animatronics are just tickling her, and she said they just wanted to play. And Michael is like confused, he's scared, like he thinks it's a big prank that someone's controlling the animatronics. Well, he's not entirely wrong. So basically like the shift ends, he drags like Abby home, and oh, I forgot to mention, like before that shift started, Mike and Vanessa had a little heart-to-heart moment after she came to him telling him that Freddy's was broken into. So basically Michael tells her his backstory of like how his brother was taken away, and like Vanessa instructs him next time not to fall asleep on the job. So after getting home, basically Mike and Abby have a discussion about the animatronics and like who they are, and they figure out they are ghost children possessing them after like a few drawings that Abby made. So they go back to next shift where they find Vanessa already there, and Abby runs up to the animatronics and they start playing and building a fort, and Vanessa and Mike joins in. It's basically a fun little scene, like it's very wholesome. So I was happy to see something like that in the movie. And then like after that, like Vanessa and Mike go into like a back room where they find like stuff for the fort, and basically Mike sees this like little animatronic thing in the corner and tries to go touch it, but Vanessa stops him and tells him that it's like a spring lock casing. So basically she pokes it with a broom, and like the spring lock breaks the broom in half like very fast. So she instructs Mike not to go anywhere near it. And like they go back to the dining room where they see Abby like playing with the animatronics, and like the animatronics playing a song for her. But then like Abby touches like Bonnie's guitar, but then an explosion of sparks and sends her back and unconscious. So basically after all that, Vanessa instructs Mike not to take Abby back to the pizzeria ever again. So Mike doesn't know what to do, so he ends up calling up the evil aunt, who comes over, and like Abby doesn't like her and basically like hates her brother now. So but then Mike then proceeds to go back to his shift at the pizzeria, where he like goes back to sleep and like tries to like bargain with the kids for like information about the man who took his brother. And they say they will give him what he wants, and like in exchange for like Abby. At first Michael like agrees, but then he realizes a mistake and refuses. Then he wakes up strapped to like the animatronic stuffing machine, and he was managed to like wiggle his way out of that one. and then he saw his like Max, her brother, and the crew like in the corner, stuffed in animatronic suits, dead. And Michael panics and he tries to escape the pizzeria, and then he Foxy charges him down the hall, and it blacks out, and it goes back to Abby back at the house with her abusive aunt there, and she stays in a room and her aunt is in the living room watching TV, but behind her, Golden Freddy appears. Yes, and basically kills her and guides Abby back to the pizzeria. And they take a trip in a taxi by forgot the YouTuber's name. So after all that, they end up back at the pizzeria, and Mike wakes up in a little police facility with Vanessa, who patched him up, and then basically she explains everything, what happened to the kids, who she is, and it turns out she's the daughter of Michael Afton, who is responsible for the kids' disappearances / murder and stuffed their bodies in the animatronic suits, explaining that's why the police couldn't find them. And it's also revealed that probably William Afton also took his brother away, and then she instructs how to get around the animatronics and defeat them. So Michael goes back armed with tasers to the pizzeria, where he sees Abby playing with the animatronics, and then Chica guides her to the back room. So basically Michael gets around Bonnie and Freddy, and rescues Abby from being stuffed in a spring-locked suit by Chica. They try to make their way out of there, but the Chica's cupcake then attacks Mike and instructs Abby to run. So basically she ran and hid, and when she was being hunted by Foxy, she eventually hid in the ball pit and was about to be caught by Foxy, but Vanessa rescued her. Then Michael was able to subdue the cupcake and try to find Abby, but he runs into William Afton in the Spring Bonnie costume. Basically, Spring Bonnie attacks him. Well, actually, William Afton attacks him and beats him down. And then Abby and Vanessa run into the room, and Vanessa confronts her father, and Abby is trying to get her brother to wake up. Vanessa shoots her father, but it doesn't really do anything, and he instructs the animatronics to attack them. And Michael wakes up and he looks around and realizes the pictures are connected to memories. So the memory of the yellow bunny being the kids' friends was false. So he instructs Abby to fix it and show them animatronics what really happened. So Abby draws the killer bunny standing over the kids. It's with a bloody knife. The animatronics then realize what really happened and go after William, who stabs his daughter who tries to defend Abby. So basically the cupcake bites William Afton at the side, activating the spring locks. So he is trapped in the suit, and before he could collapse, he took the Spring Bonnie head back on, stuffed it on. He says, "Oh, I always come back." And after falling to the ground, Foxy then drags him away, and the animatronics follow. The pizzeria is then collapsing, and Michael and Abby get out there, dragging Vanessa along with them. Then we skip ahead to a different time, Abby is at daycare and showing improvement for her problems, and then Michael and Abby talk about go visit Vanessa at the hospital, and then they go back home and discuss the events that happened and wonder if they'll see the animatronics again. And then it cuts away to back at the pizzeria, where we see William Afton still dying in the Spring Bonnie suit, and the Golden Freddy child looking on at him, and finally closing the door and ending the film there. Then we go to the post-credit scene where the taxi guy gets scared by the balloon boy action figure. So when the credits roll, they played the Living Tombstone Five Nights at Freddy's 1 song, which I very enjoyed and sung along to it. It was so much fun. So basically, overall, I give this film a 8.5 out of 10. It's a very good film. Like Michael's connection to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and why he just kept on going back there and not quitting, like Vanessa suggested. Like he was obsessed with finding his brother. He like was obsessing over the past but not making room for the future. And then he figured out like Abby is all he needs and like promises to be a better brother to her. And then like the Abby's friendship with the animatronics was like very heartwarming until like they tried to kill her and like make her one of them. That was very like suspenseful, and like I felt my heart pounding. Like, were they gonna succeed? Like I actually didn't know. Like, was it gonna end up like a standard Five Nights at Freddy's situation, or was Mike gonna save her sister? So yeah, I'd recommend this film for anyone who wants to go see it. It was very fun. Once again, 8.5 out of 10. A few nitpicks I had with it is like they didn't use the iconic animatronic scream anywhere in the movie. Like I was very disappointed with that. And yeah, it kind of felt weird at some places, but overall, good film. Recommending you go see it. And yeah, I guess that was it. Oh, and after the film, I went ahead and got some pizza. Yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. This has been Spectre 19, signing off.